up, cyberspace cadets? It's Irate Prostate here. It's Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in where I'm at, and I hope it's sunny where you're at because we've got some sunshine in the room today with the lovely Wing Sistah, also known as Sonni. What the whole concept behind the ice cream interviews is that ice cream is something we like to treat ourselves with. And I like to treat myself with people that want to know more about. And Wing Sistah, aka Sonni, is definitely one of those people. How you doing today, Sonni?
I'm well. How are you, Irate?
Good. Is it okay to call you Sonni? Would you prefer? Yeah. Okay. Wing Sistah is kind of long, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you can call me Sonni.
Awesome. Cool. Well, usually the first thing that I ask everybody, you know, on here, because basically I've been talking to people that are YouTube, you know, personalities and etc. It's like, what was your main reason for looking at YouTube and coming to YouTube to express yourself?
Well, I started YouTube a few years before I started Wing Sistah. I was doing all kinds of different concepts that failed because I really liked YouTube. I got rid of cable like in 2010, I think, and I haven't signed up for it since. I've been cable free since then. And so I started watching a lot of YouTube, and it started off with like watching silly videos like, is it okay to microwave this? and silly things like that. And then I didn't come into like the political part of YouTube until I saw like Alfonso Rachel and Bill Whittle from PJ Media. And then in 2016, I think it was, yeah, 2016, I saw like Sargon and Armor Skeptic and stuff like that, and it kind of pushed me to do it, and I made Wing Sistah.
Well, killer. All right, and I'm glad you did that too. All right, so so what about your name? Obviously, your name makes a statement. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I made the name Wing Sistah I was kind of mocking everyone, you know, with the identity politics, because you know, who cares if I'm right wing? Who cares if I'm a sister? You know, black. But it was kind of just to like, well, if everyone's doing, you know, identity politics, I might as well say I'm Wing Sistah. It was dark female conservative. I'm like, that's didn't sound right, so I changed it to Wing Sistah. It has a better ring to it. But yeah, but now it's stuck. I like it. You know, it is a statement for sure, and it's, you know, not a lot of Wing Sistahs out there, so it's something that I hold dear to. It's not identity politics per se, but it's just a statement. It kind of started off that way, but now it's stuck. Yeah,
it sounds like you were created to mock identity politics, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's
kind of a poke. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I definitely get that too. All right, so here's some of the stuff that for icebreakers and stuff to just get comfortable. Is there a food from your childhood that you hated, but now you love it?
Not really, because I like all food. I mean, there's some foods that I love that I can't eat anymore, like eggs. I can't eat eggs anymore. It messes my stomach up for whatever reason. But as far as like a childhood food that I hated, no, I don't have that, unfortunately. Like, I love every food.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's like I hated beets, and I still hate beets, but my mom and dad used to, like, eat butter beans and stuff when I was a kid, and I hated them, you know, but I love them now.
I just bought some butter beans. I see them on my couch right now. I went to the store.
Nice. Get them up, man. Get some onion in it and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. I love it.
So who would you say is the most influential person from your childhood?
Influential person from my childhood, man. I would have to say, gosh, I didn't really have any influential people that I looked up to when I was younger. I guess my daddy. Mm-hmm. He was a hard worker. He's very dedicated to his wife, my mom, and he does everything he can for his family. And I strive to find a dude like that to marry. So he's really a big influence in my life, and my mom too, but somehow my dad sticks out more because he worked so hard, and he worked all that overtime and saved all that money to this day. and yeah, he's like the best person ever.
Well, that's fantastic. Um, do you have do you have a favorite like Christmas special that holds special meaning to you?
Christmas special. I know it's so like weird and no one really likes it, but it's a Muppet Christmas.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie.
that's
It's
great.
basically just the Christmas story, with Ebenezer Scrooge. It's
Yeah.
told by the Muppets. I don't know. My mom bought it a long time ago, and I used to watch it all the time. And yeah, that's just my.
That's a real unique kind of take on the Dickens classic. I like that. It's like I'm a Grinch guy, so Dr. Seuss for me. If you could talk to yourself at the age of 8, what would you tell young Sonny?
Go to the doctor and get yourself checked out more often, and don't take stress as an answer. Because I got diagnosed very late in age, and it could have, if I would have gotten diagnosed sooner, it would have changed my life probably dramatically. So, nothing serious or anything. I'm not going to delve into it, what's going on, but I would just tell 8-year-old, hey, go to the doctor and get checked out, and don't take, just you're stressed out as an answer. So
Right.
that's what I've told myself.
Okay. What was the moment that you knew that you weren't a child anymore?
Gosh, probably when I was in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like maybe a sophomore, and they were just casually talking about who they've slept with, my friends. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm not about that life. And then they're like, oh yeah. And then like they were talking about just so much grown up stuff. I'm like, okay, well, guess it's time for me to grow up and find out what's going on. And I just didn't know. I mean, I was just like, I was still playing with dolls and stuff, but not really dolls, but it was just different for me because I was so sheltered. But I found out quickly, that's what they were about, and I wasn't about that. So I kind of had to grow up because I didn't want to be left behind. I still am not that way, I'm not like a floozy or anything, but I kind of put stuff in perspective. Like this is people our age. This is how they are now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so this next question is kind of a composite question. What is your favorite genre of entertainment? And I'm talking like spiritual, philosophy, history, drama, action, sci-fi, horror, mystery.
I would say I like learning things. So documentaries,
Okay.
I like a lot. I watch documentaries a lot. Um, and just like, I don't know, like if I were to go like on an expedition or something like that, it would be, something that I could learn. So just like learning stuff. I like learning stuff. So anything that I can learn, I that's what I enjoy.
So it sounds like you really want to like just keep feeding your mind. That's
Hmm.
yeah. So do you have a favorite book?
My favorite book recently, it's called Soviet Cooking. It's basically just, growing up in the Soviet Union and thinking of clever ways to cook, and make it and survive. It's really cool. I probably read it like a year ago. But yeah, it's a good book.
That's interesting because I'm fascinated with the Soviet Union myself,
Yeah.
and I would
Yeah.
love to read that.
Yeah, check it out. It's
Yeah,
cool.
I will. I will. Thanks. All right. So, this is a question that I get to ask you, and you're going to be able to answer it. Who is your favorite Game of Thrones character, and why?
My favorite Game of Thrones character is Daenerys Targaryen, Stormborn, because I like her fearlessness. In the books, she's much younger than she is in the show, and her maturity and the way she just grows up and she adapts so quickly, I think is something that speaks to me because it kind of happened to me, a little bit. But I like her fearlessness. I just like her a lot because she's cool.
Right.
I'll say
She's
it.
kind of, she's gone through all this, all these challenges, these difficulties, and she's done it with her chest stuck out and her chin just said, yeah, just throw it at me, goddamn it. Yeah, it's very courageous. She's a very courageous person.
I agree.
Yeah, and I see that in you, to be honest, very much so. So
I think that's probably why I resonate with her, because I can relate to her a lot.
definitely. So you talked about talking with friends earlier. How was your high school experience? What was that like for you?
It was strange because it was like I wasn't the popular kid. I wasn't like the nerdy kid. I was kind of in the middle.
Hmm.
There wasn't a lot of black people that I went to school with, so I was one of two. So that was something. But high school was something just like it wasn't like this memorable thing that I will hold dear to, like other people. But it was just, it was just school.
Right.
It wasn't anything special to me. I mean, I don't know why it wasn't that way. Maybe it's because I wasn't as popular, but I don't know. That's just how it was. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah. That usually, I don't know. I'm not going to make a comment on it, but what I've noticed is that people that tend to value those years. That was it seems like the if that's the height of your achievements, the stuff that you did when you're 15, 16, and 17, and 18, that doesn't say a lot about a person, I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
Do you plan on going to your 20-year class reunion?
I do. Yeah, I went to the 10-year one. It was not what I was expecting, but I still want to go.
Is there anybody you want to say fuck you to?
No, I had no enemies whatsoever. I was, I'm like, just like now, like I like everyone. I try to find the good in everyone, even though everyone hates this person. I'll try to find something good about them. So, like, I have no enemies, no like bullies that I dealt with or anything like that. Like nothing.
I feel you, and I appreciate that attitude, especially what in our little neighborhood we've got here. I don't know. I wish more people had that attitude, to be honest with you. In the African American community, it seems to be a trope that it tends to stand monolith voting Democrat, right? Were you ever a voting Democrat? Did you ever?
No.
All right.
No. Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, my dad and my mom are pretty conservative. Well, my mom is she's like an anomaly. She has democratic views when it comes to the economy. Like she wants more government programs, more welfare, more, all of that. But socially, she's very conservative. She's like against gay marriage and stuff like that. But for the most part, my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, we're all conservative. My extended family, they're Democrat, but yeah, my immediate family, we are all conservative. So yeah, never was a Democrat ever.
Right. So what about like family reunions or anything? Is there any political arguing or anything like that happen?
No, not really. There was one particular family member that unfriended me on Twitter, and I don't blame. She can do whatever she wants to. I got rid of my Facebook, but that was about it. Like my favorite cousin, she's gay, and she's not trans, but very masculine, and she's like I love her. She's my favorite. Don't tell anybody.
Well, that's interesting because I mean it's like some of the closest people that I grew up with and did my college years with and my post college years. I mean they unfriended me over politics, man. It was over just simple opinions and stuff. It's insane how personal people and have like internalized politics. And I think that's one of the things that I really wanted to kind of delve in with you because you know, like you said earlier, you know, your name is kind of a flip statement about identity politics. What do you see as being the tell me what your opinion is of identity politics. Let's just start there.
It's so silly to me because you know you're not just your skin color, you're not just your I guess your background of you know who you are. Like you know you're African or you're European or if you're Chinese, whatever. You're more than that.
Right.
So for people on the left, not all, but you know some people on the left to kind of make that their main focus. You know, like we need more women in movies. It doesn't matter if they're talented or not. Just put them in movies. That's stupid. And I think it's causing people to lose sight of individuality rather than, you know, a group collective. And that's, we don't want that. You know, if we have just people worried about, you know, just skin color rather than, you know, talent or whatever it may be, then movies are going to suck, and they're already starting to suck. You know, Ocean's 8 came out, and no one watched it.
Yeah, no
we don't
shit.
want a female version of Ocean's 8 or Ocean's 13, whatever. Those were fantastic movies. We didn't need for those to change at all. You know, so I don't get that. Like, I hate identity politics with a passion.
Yep, and it's interesting how Hollywood has come into play with this whole, you know, this whole identity politics thing. And you know, I remember back. Say, I'm older, you know, than most people on YouTube, and I remember a day when who you voted for was nobody's business. You know, it was an internal thing, and you didn't have fucking. You know, celebrities, you know, going on and talking about their voting. We had like, you know, stupid shit like Jane Fonda going and talking to the Vietnamese and shit, you know, during the war. But, you know, it wasn't like it is now, you know, like, you know, Scarlett Johansson, who I think is fantastic when she's acting and shit. But as a person, you know, I just don't agree with her, you know, all this shit that she says, man. And, you know, and I don't appreciate her telling me how to vote. Because it's none of her fucking business, you know?
Yeah, people like her and Natalie Portman and Jennifer Lawrence. You know, I used to like Jennifer Lawrence because she was in The Hunger Games. You know, I'm a big fan. And you know, she was really down to earth. But when she started getting political, like, just like stop. Like, a lot of people that I admire as actors and actresses, as soon as they open their mouth about politics and, you know, F Trump this and F Trump that, like, I lose respect for. And that's why people like Chris Pratt is becoming so popular with Americans, is because he's, you know, he's relatable and he doesn't open his mouth about politics. And that's why people like him.
Well, and he's also got the courage to talk about his spiritual beliefs.
Yeah, true.
And, you know, and I think that's something that a lot of people, you know, it's so, I don't know, man. It's, what was, all right, tell me about your spirituality.
I'm a Christian. I've always been a Christian. Oh, well, not always. I only became a Christian in 2009, but I grew up as a Christian. And for the longest time, I told myself, you know, my parents, you know, religion was enough for me, and it wasn't. And I figured out, you know, how to really, you know, become a Christian. And excuse me. And yeah, so yeah, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in the Holy Ghost. I believe in, you know, the Father, all that. So yeah,
you know, and it's like in the way that you talk, the way you present yourself tells me that you're trying to live some kind of spiritual life. You know, the whole idea that you know, taking somebody on face value. I try to do that too, you know. So I understand because I have such a love for people, and I, you know, and I see that in you, you know. I see a lot of love in you. Okay, so we touched on your sister a little bit, and I know you do you have a show about it. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I have a podcast every Sunday. It's going on today, hopefully. I think she has to work, so it might be a little late. But it's called Sister to Sister Podcast. And me and my sister, of course, we are very conservative. And we just talk about politics going on in the world today and our opinions on it. I think she might be even more conservative than I am, if that's possible.
Wow.
But yeah, she's like my best friend. We have very similar ideals, and we have a lot of the same interests and everything. And yeah, and we're not twins. If you ever see a picture of her, we're not twins.
All right. So how do we find your podcast?
It's on my channel, Wing Sistah. I think I'm like 2 away from having 800 subscribers, so go subscribe if you're not.
Go subscribe to Sonni now. Do it.
And yeah, it's just Sister. Wing Sistah. Just Google that or search that, and then there I am. And I try to upload regularly, but it's been hard these past few months. But yeah, that's my channel.
Cool.
You can find it there.
So, well, all right. So, what do you think? What is your opinion of the alt-right, or what's called the alt-right?
The alt-right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know when it first began in the election cycle of 2016, alt-right was a positive thing. It was just to describe an outlier right-wing person who didn't care about identity politics, who didn't care about, whether you were gay, if you're straight, if you're trans, or whatever. It was just this new age right-wing, political, I guess, movement. And then the media went and turned it into, oh, if you're alt-right, then you're racist. And then the actual racist took hold of that and made it their own. And so the alt-right as it is now, they're stupid. Most of them aren't right-wing, to be honest. They're lefties. Because you want an ethno-state and you identify with, teachings of Hitler doesn't make you right-wing. Richard Spector is definitely left-leaning. He's for universal health care. He's for bigger government programs and all kinds of lefty stuff. So,
like Richard Spector or Richard Spencer?
I said Richard Spector. I've been watching too much Girl City.
All hell blew well.
Yeah, all hell blew well for sure.
Richard
Spencer. Yeah, Richard Spencer is definitely left.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, they kind of gloss over that shit. But yeah, it is socialism, and it does come from a left leaning conceptual standpoint, and they'll these people will deny this stuff, and so will the people on the left, the mainstream media.
Sure.
What's your opinion of the way the media is just doing the thing?
The media is so they exhaust me. Like anytime I see the news, like I'll be at like the hospital or any type of waiting room where they have a TV or like the break room, all they talk about is Trump. All they talk about is Russia. All they talk about is, Paul Manafort and Cohen and all this. And it's nothing about what's going on in the world today. And I kid you not, there was someone, I think on MSNBC, who was talking about the implications of Cohen and how it affects Trump. And they're like, and people are talking about this girl in Idaho, or it was Iowa. I can't remember which state it was. I do apologize. And she wouldn't even say her name. She's like, oh, there's people just talking about this girl in Iowa. And it was that girl, Molly Tibbetts, who recently was murdered.
Right.
And I'm just like, if this is the state of the media as we know it today, I want no part of it. Like, it's really frustrating to, and I don't know how they do it every single day, talk about Trump 24/7, like nonstop. No evidence has been shown that Trump has done anything so far. Has he cheated on his wife, and is he a sleazebag? Yeah. But I'd rather have a sleazebag who cheats on his wife and is a billionaire playboy than Hillary Clinton any day. And the media makes us feel guilty for making a choice to vote for someone. I didn't even vote for Trump. I wasn't a fan of him. But it's really stupid, and people are starting to see through that and how stupid the media is. And I, for one, don't support them whatsoever.
Well, and you see the spin on the Molly Tibbetts case, and there's last week in Huntsville, Alabama, a 13-year-old girl was decapitated by MS-13. She witnessed her mother being murdered by them because I think the way the news article, and it's only local news that's covered this, right? That she refused to mule meth for them. And they stabbed the mom to death, and then of course because the daughter saw it, they raped her and then cut her head off, because that's what they do, and they were all illegal actually. Every one of them were illegal. Well, you didn't hear jack shit about that, did you?
No, I did not.
And here's something else that happened 2 weeks ago. A grand jury came up with a 1,300-page indictment of the Catholic Church. That had been covering up for 70 years, over 100 priests molesting over 1,000 children. Right, you see, and it's so hard to have a faith like that. When you see, and all of it went to the Vatican. None of that shit's on CNN. So I wanted to touch just a little bit about what you thought about the mainstream media, because they're definitely doing their own agenda, and news is not it. Obviously,
I agree.
If you ever joined the military, which branch would you choose?
Probably the Navy, because it's easier, and my dad was in the Navy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not eligible for the Navy because I have very, 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 very flat feet. So
me too.
Yeah, I wouldn't even if I didn't have flat feet, I wouldn't join the military, because I'm just like a girly. I'm a girly girl, and I'm not a girly girl. Like, I don't like working. I don't like manual labor, even though I've done it. I just rather not do anything. That's my mentality. I don't want to do anything, so I try not to do as much if I can.
So you touched on something earlier. What do you think about gay marriage?
I think it's fine as long as you're not, trying to make me go to your gay, wedding. I mean, I don't care. I know it's, in the Bible it says it's, wrong, but I go by the New Testament. Hint for those, I go by the New Testament. We no longer follow the Old Testament, and it just says it's a sin. Right. You can be gay, you can have those homosexual feelings, but the Bible teaches us, I guess, to not do it. And it's a tricky subject, because a lot of people that I know are gay, and they're my good friends, but I don't let that, dictate my relationship with them, because I'm a Christian. I just love them no matter what.
Sure. All right, so you touched on this earlier. Do you see yourself being married in the future?
I hope so. I really hope so.
And the idea of marriage does appeal to you?
It does. It does. There was a time where I didn't know for sure if I wanted to be married. I didn't even know if I wanted, like kids. But now it's starting to grow on me, I guess. I don't know what's changing, but marriage is okay. Yeah, marriage is cool.
So, what's your ideal dude?
Someone who works hard, someone who is, looks out for, me, and if we ever have kids, my children, provides, just your typical dude. I would like to have a Christian. I know that's not, a lot of people aren't Christian nowadays, so it's kind of far-fetched, I guess, but I would like one. But yeah, just someone like my daddy. I want someone like my daddy.
Well, and that's the first, the first opposite sex, that impressions on a child is their parent, and I think a lot of times we mold our ideals, and I don't know, you may find out, after you've been married 20 years that you married your father. Because it's like a, anyway, I can talk about
I feel
that
you.
shit
Or my mother, or my mother.
Man.
Someone like my mom. Yeah.
So, all right, this is a question I really wanted to ask: is what is dating like in your era? You know, what's that look like?
It is hard because I'm a person who you know, I don't want to date to have fun and just fool around. And, you know, I want something serious. If I'm going to date, it's for marriage. I don't want to waste time and, you know, just look for a good time. So a lot of people aren't looking for, you know, a serious relationship, believe it or not, even though there's all these dating apps out there. They just want to have fun, and I don't want that. So my dating life is pretty much non-existent right now.
So
So
yeah, but so are you talking about like the hookup culture thing?
yes, yes, the hookup culture. So not every single date that I've been on, just like, you know, I've been on some dates and I've been in some like not so long relationships where it just didn't work out because, you know, like if we're not compatible with each other, then I just don't waste my time.
Mhm.
So there's been some dates that I've been on and they are just a complete wreck and I'm not interested. So I'm just like, you know what? This will be the one and only date we go on. Sorry. Yeah, I know it's kind of hardcore, but that's just how I feel. But there's some where we went on a few dates and I kind of liked the person and, you know, we either he didn't like me or, you know, vice versa, whatever. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of exes, but, you know, I have been in the dating scene and it's just I don't like to waste time. I'm very patient, and I don't really care if I don't have somebody. I don't have to have someone in my life. It's just whatever.
I think a lot of people have this imaginary concept of what love and marriage is,
Hmm.
and you know, and they expect there to be some kind of spark, and that spark to be there like every second that you're together, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and you know that's just unrealistic, you know. So yeah, you know, um, I consider myself a spiritual person, and you know I pray. So it's like you know I remember you know because I know it's kind of difficult, especially if you have scruples, you know,
Hmm.
in this day and age. All right, to get on the opposite side of it, do you have a guilty pleasure? Is it,
My guilty pleasure would probably be hmm, probably eating too much. I have a problem with cravings and just like really good food, and I'm trying to lose weight. So I have started my keto diet. That's why I was eating tomatoes earlier. Um, yeah, but I love food. I love eating good food, and I like eating a lot of it. But yeah, anytime you bring like someone's having a spread and they bring like some oxtails or some pork, you know, like oh, I love food. So yeah, that's my guilty pleasure.
you and I have a lot in common here. I'll be honest with you. You know, let's start talking about you know good Southern food and stuff, man.
Oh, I love
People
Southern food.
people are missing out. That's all I'm
They
saying.
are. Yeah.
Um, so, um, is there anything about you that I haven't asked that you would like everybody to know about yourself?
Mm, gosh. I'm very, very shy in real life. I don't like crowds. Even though I could be like an outgoing person like on the internet, when you meet me in real life, I'm very shy and reserved and I don't really talk much, I guess. And yeah, I just like to be by myself and not talk to anyone and I just like to, you know, maybe take a nap, I don't know. But yeah, like I'm not always this outgoing person. Like I just sometimes I just like to be by myself, and that's something maybe you don't know.
Good. Okay. You want to talk a little bit about your work and what that entails and everything, since we had kind of touched on that before we got going today.
Like my real life job.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I work. I'm not going to say the name of my job, but it's a service contract company, and we um, I guess provide service contracts for appliances. Like if you buy an appliance at the store, we would be the one that you call if it breaks down
Ah,
during your contract. Yeah.
gotcha.
Um, if they need service, they call us, and we get a service provider out to them, and then you know, then they get it fixed, hopefully.
So do you get
And
like a caseload and you have to follow like like this person?
sometimes I do like a caseload like that, but most of the time it's just they call in and we get them. It's a call center environment basically. I and then what I do is if let's say they I don't know like the service provider calls in and they need something like a part or something like that, and we're the ones that pay for it. They have to call in and get it approved. So that's what I do.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did. I work at call center for the cable company. So, so do you ever get a disgruntled customer that curses at you and stuff? It's just
Um, Not really, not all the time. We get some customers that want like the stupidest stuff. Like, there's like a scratch on the backside of my refrigerator. Like, it's on the backside of your refrigerator. Who cares? Like, we get something like that, but
that's,
nothing like every once in a while, maybe, but I never really experienced that too often. Like, I can't think of the last time that happened.
oh man, yeah. I just the call center thing. It was being called everything but a child of God as day after day.
Yeah, and I used to work in collection, so it's happened before.
Oh,
But I'm trying to get out of the call center environment if I can, but it's really hard because where I live, that's all there is, and that's all that's on my resume. So that's all I get hired for. So
I dig. Well, at some point, I see you like stepping up and being a supervisor. Um,
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want the supervisor gig just because it's a lot of stress and you have to talk to those angry customers. What I would want to do is be a trainer. That's what I would want to do. Oh, okay. Sorry, someone's like speeding outside my
oh,
window. But yeah, that's I want to be a trainer. I went to school for music education, so education
really?
is my thing. Yeah.
What do you play?
I play clarinet, that's my main instrument. And then of course bass clarinet, sometimes tenor saxophone. Also play a little bit of percussion and keyboard. Yeah.
So, yeah, woodwind instrument kind of
Hmm.
girl.
Yeah.
I love the saxophone too. When it's really played like really soft and emotionally, it's
Hmm.
really a really beautiful instrument. That's awesome.
Yeah. My sister plays alto sax. We were in jazz band together.
So were you into like fusion jazz, that type of jazz, or what kind of
It
music?
was it was a swing orchestra, so it was swing music. Yeah.
Oh man, it's like a dum, 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 dum,
Yeah, we
dum,
played,
dum, dum, dum.
the Chips Ahoy song
Yeah,
called "Sing Sing Sing." That was one of our main songs.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, but see, I love all, there's usually every genre of music has something good, man. And I love that stuff. I love that swing shit, man.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Jazz music is great. I love '50s jazz. It's like my favorite genre of music. When I like want to just chill and go to bed, Bill Evans, John Coltrane, all that. I love it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Let's see, where am I? So, all right, who is your favorite criminally undersubbed YouTuber?
Oh man, I just found them the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember the name of their channel.
That's cool.
Um, it's called. Oh gosh, let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's like okay. Well, it's this guy. He does his own arrangements of video game music and other things. He did the podcast music for this magazine. It's oh gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it. Okay, it's called the magazine's called Meme Insider. So let me see if I can find the podcast. I'm on my computer frantically googling.
That's
Okay,
cool.
his name is Portman Tone. Everyone check him out. It is insane his talent. He plays every single instrument you can see, as a music education. So I love music. Just go on YouTube, search him really quick, and he does beautiful arrangements all on his own. And it's got this like a really rich kind of like bossa nova y style type music, and it's beautiful. I love it. Check him out. Criminally underset. Like I think he has maybe 2,000. Yeah, he's only got 2,000 subscribers. It blows my mind, and this guy is so talented.
All right, it's called Portmantone.
That's correct.
All right, cool. All right. Are you into anime?
I am into anime.
All right. Well, what's your favorite series? Let's talk about that.
Naruto. Naruto is my favorite. I love Naruto. My favorite anime character is Kakashi Hatake. You know, I love him. And Inuyasha is a close second. I love Inuyasha.
All right.
Shippo.
Tell me about Naturo and tell me about these characters because I know absolutely nothing about this.
Okay, so Naruto is this loner kid to start off with. His parents died when he was a baby. And he's got this, I don't know, this monster living inside of him. It's called a nine-tailed fox. And it's a very dangerous monster. When it's released, it could like literally destroy the world. And they hid it inside of him for some reason. I can't remember the whole reason why, but he's always grown up being shunned and looked down upon because he has this monster inside of him. But he grows up, you know, training, of course, in ninja fighting and stuff like that. He gets friends along the way, and the journey is just you know, the evil people trying to bring the monster out of him to manipulate it and use it for their own good, and him fighting them. And it's an amazing series. There's some filler episodes that are really stupid and boring, but if you give it a shot, I think it's a really great anime to.
It kind of sounds like it's kind of a metaphor too.
Yeah, there's a lot of metaphors and stuff in it, lots of parallels and stuff. But yeah, it's a good anime to start off with.
Cool.
If you're new to anime.
What about the characters that you brought up?
Naruto, the main character, you know, I've said his story. Sasuke is his best friend, Sasuke Uchiha, and he ends up becoming evil. And basically the premise of the story is Naruto trying to redeem Sasuke because he loves him as his friend, you know, and he cares about him so much, and that's pretty cool. Sakura shouldn't even be in the series because she's stupid. Right by your car is going by.
Okay.
And probably the most underrated character is the quote-unquote love interest, Hinata. I like her. But yeah, I like Naruto. Naruto is they have a diverse cast. They even have black people in it, which is great. So yeah, I like it.
That's awesome. So I might hit you up later to do, you know, Big Fat Brian and me do the hot takes thing on one of the weeks out of the month. We talk about anime that's on Netflix. So I might see if you might want to do that with us one afternoon.
Okay, yeah. On Netflix, they only have like the first 3 seasons. That's the Shonen Jump when he's young. They don't have Shippuden, so that's when he's like a teenager, and that's where the good stuff happens. So if you want the whole thing, you have to watch on Netflix and on Hulu mixed.
Gotcha.
And it's like really long.
Yeah, so see, I found like Hulu has all the old shit that I hear about, like Cowboy Bebop and the quote classics and stuff. So yeah, definitely down with Hulu too. Let's see. So what's your favorite thing about Texas?
The food. I love the food and also the jobs. We have a lot of jobs in Texas, and living here is not so expensive. I mean, if you want to live in like Dallas or like the main part of Fort Worth, those are pretty expensive. And like Highland Park, those are really, really expensive. But for the most part, Texas has really affordable living. And they have jobs, and our barbecue is bar none. We have Whataburger like on every street corner. And we're really friendly here, and believe it or not, people always think that Texas is backwards and racist, but we have the most diverse people. Like where I live in Dallas, there are so many Middle Easterns, and they're like kneeling in prayer out in this field all the time, and no one does anything. We don't flip, we don't trip. And I get baklava from this Turkish lady. She gives me baklava.
God,
It's
that
really
shit is so
delicious.
good.
It is so delicious, and she puts like I think it's like dates or figs or something in
Hmm.
them too. It's
Yep.
so good, and I get some milk. Oh,
Very,
I want some right now.
very rich.
It is rich, so yeah, I have to
Yeah.
drink it with milk.
Awesome.
It is, and I love Dallas. I mean, well, Dallas and Fort Worth, just Texas in general. There's some parts of Texas that are not so great, like border states. Honestly, they're not so good, but overall, Texas is awesome.
Well, I was going to ask, what's your least favorite thing about Texas?
The heat,
The heat.
yeah,
How bad?
definitely the
How
heat.
bad is it?
It'll be 100 degrees outside, but it feels like 115 because of the humidity.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the ground is hot and you can feel that heat coming up from the ground. So it's literally like it's especially if you have like a blacktop like road, your shoes can melt in really hot weather. So
Oh yeah, I've seen that. All
yeah.
right. So all right. All right. So how far are you like from? I'm trying to figure if you're in that parallel, that line where it's like kind of a swamp line that goes through Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and into Texas, right?
I'm not near any swamp. I'm literally like in Dallas. Like I'm probably 10 minutes out of downtown.
Okay. How far are you from from the coast?
Probably 5, 6 hours.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you wouldn't be. I was trying to picture in my mind. Texas is humongous, man. So,
It is.
I mean, I think we took 2 days to go through the whole state when I was
Yeah.
going out to Arizona to see my uncle. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a. I don't know, man. I've always seen Texas as being kind of like kind of like it doing its own thing, and kind of always being kind of like the it's like we're part of the United States, but we really kind of want to be our own country and shit.
Yeah.
And that kind of that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah,
its.
we definitely hold ourselves above any other state, and we're cocky about that. No shade, but
Well,
we're really
I
one of the
admire
best
that.
states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of my name is really a play on pro state. Being for not necessarily your home state, but also the state. The country. So.
Gotcha.
So we've got right around a couple minutes. Let's see. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about?
Actually, yeah. Stop virtue signaling on behalf of minorities, people. I know probably most of you listening don't do that, but it's stupid. It's demeaning to people. And if you see someone on the left do it, call them out because we don't appreciate it. Black people don't like it. We can think for ourselves. We can be by ourselves and be independent. We don't need help trying to get an ID to vote. It's stupid. So don't do it.
All right, so give us an example of what that virtue signaling looks like, because a lot of people will hear that term, and they really don't understand exactly what a virtue signal looks like, because there's a lot of this lingo, that especially older folks, boomers and shit, they don't get it, right?
Yeah, virtue signaling basically means like this. We're just going to use white people as an example. Not all white people do this, but a white person speaking on behalf of black people saying having an ID to vote is racist because minorities don't have the tools and the resources to get an ID. That's just stupid. It's very demeaning and it's racist. A lot of people seem to think virtue signaling for black people is like the thing to do because it's no other way that we can do it because we don't have a voice. So it's not the case. It's black people know what to do, minority people know what to do, whoever you are, if you're some type of minority, we know what to do in our lives. We know what to we have a way to do things. And virtue signaling is basically propping yourself up as this savior, that white people or black people can't live without. And it's really demeaning. A lot of Black people don't like it, and only these outlier, social justice Black people do it because they don't know any better, and that's I really, really hate that. It's like one of my biggest things that I hate about social justice is virtue signaling and speaking on my behalf when I have a voice, I can use it, but they use it for me.
Yeah, I've seen that also. It's almost like I know that because you're from the street and stuff. Let me articulate this stuff. What you really mean to say. Yeah, I get that. What do you? All right, this is a question that I'm very serious about. Right, but how, does it offend you if somebody like picks up an affectation of like talking in like a hood talk? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. If you talk Black, I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me at all. What you grew up with,
Hmm.
then you can do that. I know a lot of white people who grew up around Black people and talk that way. Some people that don't grow up around Black people and they just they love hip hop culture and they do it. It doesn't matter to me as long as as long as you're being genuine. You can tell when people aren't being genuine because they will slip and they will act the normal way. It always happens. But if you've interacted with this person, they've never shown any other side of them, as long as you've known them, then by all means, I don't care. I'm not an easily offended person,
Gotcha.
except when you virtue signal, for me. Um, but yeah, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my God, you're white, you can't act that way. Um, you can act that way, just don't, like don't be like a Rachel Dolezal and say, I'm Black, and don't do that. You can be, hood or whatever you want to call it, ghetto, whatever. You could be white and ghetto, just don't say you're Black. That's stupid.
Right. Well, that's kind of something that's always kind of stuck in the back of my head. I don't I don't know if I would was in the similar situation, I would be offended by what I'm saying. So I just kind of while it was on my mind, I just wanted to check that out with you. So shoot, man. It looks like we're getting towards the end of the interview here. You want to tell us about your show in a little bit more detail and what you guys are going to be talking about tonight and what time it's going to be and everything?
The time is iffy because my sister's at work right now. She works 7 to 7, so it'll be on around 7:38 ish today. We're just gonna talk about my king's passing. Every single day. I have to deal with that. We're going to talk about McCain passing, the Trump, Cohen, and Manafort, and all that going on. CNN, Molly Tibbetts, a whole bunch of stuff. So everything that happened in between, the last show and now, that's what we talk about. So
Good.
yeah, and again, it's every Sunday. Me and my sister JT. She's amazing. She looks like me, so like looking at split image of each other. But other than the show, I do also upload content to my channel. It's not as often, but I do plan on doing a series about is Venezuela a good argument against socialism? So that's going to be coming soon.
I'm sorry, man, but yes.
It is.
That
I know.
sounds good. That sounds good, like a good topic.
It'll be broken down very, very well.
And-
I have all my tabs open with research.
I want to interrupt for a second here and say, gentlemen, Sonni is such a beautiful young lady. Just from an aesthetic standpoint, I had to point this out because she's got a beautiful smile and very just gorgeous complexion.
I thank you.
Yes. Is your sister as hot as you are?
Yeah, she looks just like me.
Oh shit. We're in trouble, people. So definitely. So all right. What else do you want to say about the show?
That's about it about the show. I do like interaction. I do read your comments and your feedback. So make sure you're interactive and give your opinion in the chat. I love interacting with that. And Also, I'm on another podcast with Miles every week on Tuesday. It's called Are We Serious? But yeah, that's about all I
Give
do.
us a quick premise of the Are We Serious? Because I
Are
think,
We Serious? Yeah, it's changing formats a little bit. Instead of just like giving articles and talking about that, we're gonna do a little something different. We haven't gotten all those kinks out yet, but yeah, it's with me, Miles, and Tanky. Miles is the main person, of course. But yeah, I love being on that podcast too.
yeah, it looks a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it is fun.
It
I
looks
like
hella
being
fun.
on that.
Yes,
It is. I like it.
it's awesome.
Me and Tinky and Miles, we're yeah, we're just the bestest of friends. So yeah, watch that too. It's on Miles' channel, Miles Beats Live.
Well, we're coming to the top of the hour, and I wanna thank you, Sonny, aka Wing Sistah, for coming in and hanging out for an hour and kind of opening yourself up to us and letting us know more who you are. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
And I do want to tell everybody that this time next week, I will be interviewing your boy Pat. He's also from Texas and loves anime. So
Oh, cool.
maybe we can find a love connection there. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody. Hit me up on Irate Monday tomorrow night. And meantime, y'all have a great week. This is Irate Prostate, OUT. See y'all later.